In the bizarre world of reality TV, where drama is practically the main meal, we've seen some insane love stories, but Ballistic beats and Joseline Hernandez's wild romance is unmatched. The headlines couldn't get enough of these two ardent lovers, who had given us all the drama with as much on-off movement as a light switch. Let's not even discuss their bizarre personalities. I discuss erratic conduct. They throw another curve B just when you think you've seen everything. Imagine this. All of a sudden, for no apparent reason, a nut-ass dude walks in and shuts everything down while everyone is having a blast at a party and the music is pounding. I simply told everyone to go lost and turned off the lights. What a buzzkill. Then, all of a sudden, their engagement is over. Ballistic, the music producer with his own claim to fame, always seemed like the cool guy backing up Joseline, the former love hip-hop Atlanta star and Puerto Rican princess, at least for the time being. Even though Wilder once did this on a calm Miami afternoon after Joseline had just returned from an event, while Ballistic was working hard in the backstage department, their relationship was a heated mess, or whatever it was on TV, and fans never grew weary of it behind the scenes. Studio, although everything seemed to be going smoothly on the surface, you could be certain that the drama was about to escalate to a new level. It's unclear what transpired, but that day are awful too, trust me. There is more to this story, and beneath its calm facade, tensions were going to be explosive, so keep reading. Joseline, who was easily agitated, was growing more and more annoyed with their partnership. There were reports of adultery, issues with trust, and a complete lack of communication, all of which were widely recognized signs of a failing relationship. The turning point came when Joseline, in keeping with her personality, confronted Ballistic with accusations and demands for answers after becoming enraged over something she had heard, whether or not it was real at the moment. Clarity as the conflict grew more heated as trust issues and previous scars resurfaced, the vulnerability that had held them together began to erode. Man, hurry up. What are you discussing? What's the matter with you? Quit pretending that I'm not playing a game with her. Foolish, stupid ass, their shouting match peaked. Joseline suddenly and shockingly decided to leave my house in a fit of rage, yelling in a furious tone. Cold and unyielding after feeding someone fruit, Ballistic responded, "Are you serious? You're a nut. You're not an example." And then he told the young child, "Oh, don't tell anybody about what we did today." As accusations and charges were leveled, everyone made fun of each other's anxieties, the betrayed trust, and Joseline's icy demand. The atmosphere was tense. Everyone was left wondering what would happen next because there was no room for compromise in this moment of pure reality. He said angrily, "What's wrong with you, you nut-ass broad? Man, are you serious? I am treated like king by you. You don't treat me disrespectfully." He was taken aback, overtaken with emotion, and found it difficult to react. Having supported her through thick and thin, he had just recently come to the realization that Joseline, who was usually combative and defiant, refused to back down when Ballistic tried to reason with her and begged for a calm chat. When it comes to protecting her peace, she never backs down from a fight. After saying it again, she showed him the door to the home they had shared for months, slicing through the tension like a knife. She felt frustrated and hurt at the same time. And betrayal on social media, fans were split. Some supported Joseline's conduct, while others praised her choice. The world watched in shock as Ballistic packed his things and departed, clearly taken aback by the sudden turn of events. The drama was typical of the reality shows in which they appeared together, but this time it was genuine and unplanned. In terms of how it all happened, a drama from real life filtered into the digital world. People took sides or simply expressed disbelief at how quickly things fell apart in the flood of reactions that followed. While some thought Joseline was overly harsh, others praised her for refusing to back down. Whatever the case, their split was the day's biggest topic on all major media platforms. Fans were discussing the emotional toll of their separation and whether there was more after Ballistic's enigmatic social media expression of his thoughts. She was commended for her tenacity and for demonstrating on Instagram that sometimes choosing peace requires prioritizing oneself. Her main points were respect for oneself, self-control, and personal boundaries, even if it meant ending a relationship that had previously seemed so stable. As time passed, no one noticed that the split drama was at an all-time high, leading people to speculate about the possibility of Joseline and Ballistic getting back together. Both kept their distance from one another over time, but there were persistent whispers of a possible reunion or a permanent breakup. Anyone watching can see that Joseline Hernandez, who was once known as the fearless Puerto Rican princess, had the courage to defend herself. Her decision to put herself before the drama shows that, in a society when relationships are scrutinized by the public, sometimes the bravest course of action is to go. Joseline's courageous action was definitely noticed, and people were talking about how she put her own needs first. This made a big, bold statement in a world that loves to test relationships, even though no one really knows if it was the right choice or what the future holds. An advancement toward empowerment, Ballistic Beats had to rebuild not just his life, but also his trust and understanding of love, leaving fans waiting and watching the tumultuous romance drama between Joseline and Ballistic. One thing was clear from the saga: Joseline wasn't going to back down. She had made her decision and was taking responsibility for it. Everyone was on edge, wondering what would happen next in this passionate love story. In the bizarre world of reality TV, where drama and passion blend reality with fiction, Ballistic Beats and Joseline Hernandez were a spectacle they were on again. Their story reached a turning point when Ballistic was released. Joseline remained steadfast, ready to face whatever came next with or without him. Because her next move was always a mystery, Joseline, the queen of her story, never failed to keep her fans wondering. Off-again former love and hip-hop Atlanta star and self-proclaimed Puerto Rican princess, Joseline was always portrayed as having a supporting boyfriend in reality TV personality and producer Ballistic Beats. With their volatile personalities and erratic conduct regularly making headlines, their partnership was everything but perfect. The explosive incident that would break their engagement caught fans off guard. Social media and television, their relationship's highs and lows, were a reality TV fantasy come true, and every public altercation, split, and makeup went viral on social media. Although their supporters were constantly curious about what would happen next, this most recent occurrence raised the stakes to a whole new level, leaving them wondering what was happening behind the scenes. Joseline ultimately had to control her life and reconstruct her own image. Whatever came next in the intriguing realm of real-life romances was up to her in the future. Joseline had just returned from a promotional event in Miami, while Ballistic was deep in the studio working on his album. Everything seemed to be quiet from the outside. But behind the scenes, things were heating up. Joseline was tired of their relationship because of her fiery temper. There was little communication, a poor trust, and allegations of adultery, all of which are signs that a relationship is doomed. Couple it was in the news, and then Joseline suddenly lost it over something she had heard. The facts didn't really matter then. She was angry and demanding explanations. Trust gradually deteriorated as previous issues reappeared with fury. All that was left was a broken vulnerability. Like the glue that had held them together, voices started to disintegrate. Unrelenting with her words growing more scathing by the moment, Joseline delivered the bomb just when things couldn't get much worse. The sound of Rose's voice filled the house. In a harsh and ruthless voice, the words, "Get out of my house," stayed there, heavy with emotion. Ballistic was stunned, obviously offended, and unable to speak. Despite Joseline's efforts to keep although it seemed like something from a dramatic film, these two were experiencing the messy reality of breakups. She wasn't going to back down now that the tension had finally subsided. Ballistic could only stand there, attempting to comprehend what had just transpired, still reeling from the demands. Reality in full color, although he had always supported her in both good and terrible times, he now saw that the foundation of their relationship had been destroyed. Joseline was insistent, despite his best efforts to reason with her and beg for a calm discussion. With a voice as clear and sharp as a razor, the strong reality TV personality who never backs down from a fight, especially when it involves her peace, said, "You need to go." She then escorted him out of the home they had lived in for several months, her emotions roiling with anger, hurt, and betrayal. Ballistic, clearly shocked by the result, packed up his things and left, leaving everyone enthralled with the drama. This was real life after the Oriole social media controversy, yet it felt like one of those scenarios from their reality shows. Fans couldn't stop talking about it. A few were surprised by Joseline's move. Others cheered her on and supported her for standing up for herself. But sometimes you just have to choose peace. Later, Joseline shared on Instagram to remind everyone that self-respect and, even if it meant leaving a relationship that seemed like it would last forever, setting personal boundaries must come first.